You are now listening to the Full Sport Press podcast featuring hosts Jay Hove, Chef, Weezy, and Coach Locke. Please enjoy the show.
Episode, what is this, cameraman? 302? 302. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Got any New Year's resolutions?
Like Wayne said,
I'll get my
don't
teeth
make
fixed.
resolutions.
Get my teeth fixed this year.
Oh, okay. All right.
Shine on them then.
I'll get my teeth fixed.
Shine on them.
You getting all new fronts?
I don't need new fronts. You know what you mean? I don't need new
You gonna
fronts.
get like veneers? Like what you do?
That's it, man.
You get braces?
Get my teeth fixed.
Snyder?
You gonna get that one.
I'm gonna need some drawbreakers this year. I need some drawbreakers.
Cameraman, you ready to get going? Let's get it, man. 302. Greetings and salutations. I would like to welcome everybody back and some of you for the first time to the Full Sport Press Podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am Jay Ho.
It's your boy Big Joe.
Weezy in the building. Say what's up, Weezy.
What up, what up, what up?
Coach Locke back in the man. It was Cam.
What's good, fellas? What's up?
What's going on, fellas? How's the weekend, man?
Happy New Year.
I mean, happy New
Happy
Hey,
New
listen,
Year.
Like Eddie Murphy, Merry New Year.
No, for sure. We didn't tell anybody Merry Christmas.
We didn't.
Or
Happy Thanksgiving.
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
what else?
Yeah,
We didn't say nothing.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Festivus.
All
Yeah,
the
we didn't say
above.
anything.
Skip
So
that on Hanukkah for
yeah, we're gonna put all that into one. Happy everything.
Happy
Most
holidays,
definitely.
people.
Happy holidays.
Season's greetings.
Fireworks.
Episode
Fireworks.
3. Yeah, sure. Episode 302. We're bringing the 2019 NFL season to an end with our postseason award show.
FSP style.
Always FSP style.
Better damn know it.
Better damn believe
Let's
it.
kick it off, man. Best of the week, Weezy. What you got?
Best of the week for me was Happy New Year, man. It was a good New Year. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
it,
a good
man.
year for you, man.
Good year.
Yeah, it was a great year.
I'm
for
gonna
you.
get my
Glad to make
teeth
it through
fixed
the
this
year. No.
Yeah, now listen. You saying that January and in March we come in here and your teeth.
Nah,
your teeth ain't
chill,
done.
bro.
Okay,
Chill.
okay.
Yeah, don't make it a running joke now.
Yeah, okay.
Because you might
You
need your
brought it
teeth
up
fixed.
twice.
You might need your teeth
I-
fixed.
That's the last thing.
Nah,
Y'all
I'm
don't have
saying,
to worry about it.
you
My
making a
teeth
running
get
joke.
fixed. Nah. How would my teeth need to be fixed? Well, how would that happen?
You keep making a running
it's a right hook.
Yeah, keep making a running
Really,
joke.
really, fellas? Really?
That's the last thing I worry about. Because it'd be more than his teeth missing.
Really?
It'd be a whole man
It
missing.
took 30 seconds for us to get off the
For
rails.
sure. A whole man.
We ain't even make it through
Not
the
his
good
teeth.
intro good.
Not just his teeth. Whole man
Yeah,
missing.
let it go.
Good.
What you
Goodness
got,
gracious.
Jeff? Best of the week, brother.
Man, according to the voters, according to the polls out there, the Buffalo Bills are the most popular team heading to the playoffs this year.
Oh shit.
State by state. State by state. I can show you the map.
Man, we don't need to
I need to
see
see
that.
that map.
I can show you the map.
I need to see the map. Because
You want to pause the show? I can.
Nah, hell no.
We got a
Off
break.
air.
Okay,
We got a break.
Off air.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, you came in here with some outlandish things. And we
Bills
did a
Mafia?
little research.
What we
and
talking about?
it was never
Oh yeah.
Westbrook shoes.
Hey.
What about it?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Westbrook shoes. You said that they were the most popular
I
shoes, and
sent
that
you the
was
link,
not
but
true.
we argued in the group chat for a whole 2 hours because you said the guy who posted that list wasn't credible. Remember?
Nah, I don't remember that.
You
Yeah, I
said
remember
you said it was a guy from Complex. You said, "Oh no!"
Oh, he
that
said it
Adam
was
guy-
the most popular. Yeah, for
that
sure.
Adam guy's
He
not
said-
credible.
But come on, bro.
He don't
I'm
speak for me
saying.
and my culture.
No, what I said was in reference to that.
You got your whole, you know what I'm saying? I got the clip.
No, Let me tell you why. That was his opinion as to.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying, everybody knows the most popular shoes was the Kobe Bryant's and the Kyrie Irving.
But it was number one on his list.
On his list.
Oh.
Shout out to the camera.
It was on his list. It's his list. Most definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, Coach?
Man, my 49ers, man. We won the NFC West
Sure.
and
Nice.
the number one
Let's clap it up.
seed
Yeah, for
in
sure.
the NFL.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
needed that.
Most definitely.
First round bye,
Yeah.
home field throughout the playoffs.
Okay.
Let's go, Jimmy G.
Yeah, for sure.
Enjoy it.
I have two best of the week. The first best of the week is shout out to my guy Willie. Works for the Titans. He got us some more stuff to put up in our studio. I appreciate you, big guy.
Pristine.
The good
stuff.
thing is the gift can keep on giving. Let us know if it's stuff that you want put up to represent some of your favorite teams. And we'll put it up, man, in the studio. Send them to us for
Get
sure.
it to us.
Now, my best of the week along so is Drew Lock. Him reciting Jesus put on bars. You put everybody in the culture now know who Drew Lock is for sure.
My
Bar
quarterback.
for bar for word.
He's bar for bar with Snow.
Who quarterback is that?
I ain't. Shout out to Drew Lock and hip hop runs the world. Nah, for sure. What was you? Is that your quarterback? Now you claiming Drew Lock now?
No.
Oh, he plays for the Denver Broncos.
Okay, remember you said that because if you do bad, that's your quarterback. But when you do good, it's not my quarterback.
So is that your quarterback?
He been who's on the all-Weezy team?
Bro, you didn't say nothing about Drew Lock until he.
I like that.
Boy, you sick. You're a sick human being.
Jay.
What is your worst of the week, dog?
My worst of the week, man, was it was rough. It was rough, man. It was New Year's Eve, guys, right?
Okay.
New Year's Eve. It was right. I got up. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go turn my Uber light on. You know, so I get myself into. You know what I'm saying? Bad idea, fellas. You got to ride. I dropped the guy off way in about 20 minutes away.
Okay.
He didn't want to get out the car.
Ooh.
We gonna spend New Year's Eve here. No, we're not.
In the Uber.
In the car.
In the car.
I said, sir, it should stop. No, it's not. We're gonna spend New Year's Eve here. I had to literally pull this guy out of my car, man.
How much was he? Was he a part of Husky Nation?
No, man, but he was a
He was a fighter.
Big dude.
he was heavyweight, but he wasn't.
Was he super drunk?
Yeah. He lived out. He's on that orange juice from Bombay.
Oh,
He's on that Bombay lemonade.
Bombay lemonade.
They could have gone tricky with
Yeah, for
It
sure.
was rough. He ended my night though. I got him out. I went home.
It's over with.
Yeah, he
I'm
ended my
not
night.
gonna deal with no more of these people.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, he didn't even leave a tip, man.
He didn't even leave it. He was too drunk to leave a tip.
yeah,
You knew that.
yeah.
Jeff, what you got? Worst of the week?
Oh man, David Stern, man.
D. Stern, man.
That was tough,
Man.
He's commissioner of a childhood.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, he saw the league, go from. He grew the league a lot.
He did.
Our favorite league, the NBA. To lose David Stern like that. I didn't know David Stern was such a savage as the way he was in some of these clips they're posting these days.
Man.
Him and Jim Rome had an interesting exchange one time. I don't know
sure.
if y'all hear that
I
one?
did, yeah. He said you still beat on your wife.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was
I was
tough.
like, wow,
That was tough.
okay.
Yeah.
but,
That's tough.
shout out to David Stern. I didn't really appreciate the dress code rule, but whatever.
Yeah,
Everybody
for sure.
perfect.
Chris Paul trade too.
Anybody perfect.
Chris Paul trade. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was a part
Yeah,
of it.
He was a veto.
Yeah, he was a veto.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
What you got, Coach?
Man, that was my worst of the week too, man.
Sure.
David Stern, man. That's
Yeah.
bad news. We saw the NBA players coming out and saying what they felt about David Stern and how important he was for expanding the brand worldwide, starting the NBA Cares and the NBA. At the time, it was called the NBA D League, now known as the G League, the WNBA, all the things he started. So
Shout out to D.
that was
Stern,
definitely
man.
my worst of the week also.
And the Dream Team.
And the Dream
Dream
Team.
Team.
Yeah, it was D.
Dream
Stern.
Team.
Yeah, I would be remiss without going on with my worst of the week. Knockout Wings closing after 22 years of service, man.
That's for the Nashville
Shout
listeners.
out Nashville.
Yeah, man. This is I think this is Nashville's first for real wing spot.
I believe so.
I think so, man.
Yeah.
Them and Princess probably.
Yeah.
Prince is not necessarily a wing spot though.
Chicken.
They chicken.
Chicken
Yeah.
wings for sure.
But knockout wings. was-
Knockout.
Knockout
Yeah,
wings
man.
was
Spot,
for the
man.
tea, the biscuit, and the
Yeah,
wing.
Most
made my
definitely.
college experience a lot better. The biscuits, the sweet tea. Now
Sweet
that I
tea.
had it as an adult, it was too sweet tea.
Oh, you got to water
Too
it down.
sweet. Yeah, for sure. But a Nashville tradition, man. Hell of a run, standing ovation.
You feel
for
like a
Knockout
real
Wings.
man when you with knockout wings at night.
Oh man,
Sure did.
Hey,
It hurt me when I heard that.
give him the OG name.
Buffalo Express.
There it
Buffalo
is.
Express.
Buffalo.
Also known as
The Buff.
the Buff.
The Buff.
Now make sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, IG, Google Play, Stitcher, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and of course the SoundCloud page to catch up on full archive of past episodes of FSP. How do you do that? Just search Full Sport Press Podcast. And after you do that, make sure you check out the On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast with Animal Brown, Spike Lou, and producer M Extra on the boards every Wednesday. The fellas are off this week, so you can just go back and check out their past archive of their past episodes to catch up on all things On Deck related.
Sure, man. Shout out to the guys, man. Well deserved break.
Most
I think we all
definitely.
need a break.
PTO.
Every once in a
Except
while.
for FSP.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
breaks.
Hey,
No
Hey,
breaks.
on
hey,
deck, dear.
gotta work, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And no
Most
PTO here.
Yeah, and Mark, you damn right.
You did he reset in the new year?
You did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Yours
You gotta
just
accumulate. You gotta
Yeah,
accumulate
yours just
that.
did.
Yeah, I'm
no,
on
for sure.
fiscal year.
Accrue.
You gotta-
Yeah,
you gotta accumulate,
you gotta
though,
accrue.
PTO.
You gotta accrue.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Fresher than the
Fiscal
average
year.
podcast, man. Me and my dog Animal Brown is a self-help fashion podcast directly related to improving everyday fashion. Same great content with the new name. Catch our latest issue 56, Sneaker of the Year, episode is up right now directly for the culture. Hit the hotline, 629-777-5565, so we can answer your fashion-related question on our next issue. Wear your kicks. Cop responsibly.
And you can read up on your favorite FSP co-host. New studio. And purchase your FSP merchandise. Get your hoodies, get your hoodies, get your hoodies, get your hoodies.
Get them.
And catch up on the past episodes from the shows we just mentioned and much, much more. How you do that, you ask, Weezy? Just search www.realvillemedia.com. Tell a friend to support the real. OMG!
RMG, most definitely. Jeff, you got 10 good wrestling seconds.
Oh, man.
Let's start the clock.
All right. So, on the last Monday Night Raw of the decade, Lana finally married Bobby Lashley, or air quotes married Bobby Lashley. So here's what happened, guys. The segment was filled with, apparently Lashley was secretly married before. His previous wife comes out to tell everyone that he's already married. Apparently Lana has been married twice before. Her first husband shows up out of nowhere before Rusev. And Liv Morgan returned to the ring to profess her love for, you guessed it, cameraman, Lana. Yeah, so thank goodness the calendar changed, and we can start pushing towards the Royal Rumble because that got weird fast.
It turned into a
All
soap
my
opera.
children, man.
Some soap opera kind of
All
stuff.
my children.
Man, it got weird. It got weird. That was a tough watch. Some of the highest ratings they've had in the past 6 months, but still a tough watch, man.
For sure.
Bring
Most
back
definitely.
Stone Cold, man.
I'm good.
You don't want Stone Cold out
For
there.
sure. You might see a death on stage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody get paralyzed.
Somebody get paralyzed, for sure. In case you missed it, man, we have embarked on a new decade, and the 2010s will go down in history as a decade as one of the more newsworthy stories, and unfortunately, many of those were good things. Now, let's compare some things from 2010 to 2020. Smokers are down from 21 out of 100 people to 14 out of 100 people. So that's really good.
That's good.
Smokers, unemployment is down from 9.6% to 3.9%.
Nice.
Good. Poverty is down to 700,000 from 1.6 million. Good. Household income is up to 62,000 from 57,000. So good. We're making some money out here. But you know what hasn't went up? Minimum wage.
Of course
$7.25, January 3rd, 2010. The federal minimum wage, January 3rd, 2020, $7.25, man.
It's insane.
It's horse crap.
That is insane.
The good thing is that 24 states will see a minimum wage increase in 2020. But why did it take 10 years to get this number satisfactory? That's crazy.
That's nuts. Because everything is going up.
I don't even
You
want to
damn
know the
right.
job you
Everything.
got to do to get $7.25. I don't even want to know what you're doing to get paid that.
Got to get that going in the right direction. That's not fair, man. $7.25 is woof.
Rough.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, it's
for
tough.
sure. I'm telling you, you can't get a good burger for $7.25.
Nah.
Not a good burger.
Nah.
Hell,
Especially if you want to fry.
yeah, you go to McDonald's. Hell, shit, McDonald's.
They-
Quarter pounder gonna cost you $8.
$8
By
for
itself.
sure. With cheese.
With cheese.
With cheese.
Goodness.
You can't supersize it either.
You better
Nah,
not.
you better not.
Super- Hell
I
no.
don't even think they
For sure.
Work.
You be busting suds.
So will.
Sure. Now, tweet some questions throughout the week of Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend
Tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
that the revolution will be podcasted. And before we start with the first half, Weezy, do you have a yellow box of Cheerios award recipient for the listeners?
I do. It's the cameraman's favorite player,
It is.
Ben Simmons.
There we go, for sure. I was getting worried there. You're right. It is Ben Simmons, Sixers All-Star point guard. Ben Simmons spent the last minutes of the decade with Kendall Jenner on Tuesday night. The two partied down in downtown Philadelphia at the rooftop bar called Attico. Now, they broke up 4 times in 2019, where she allegedly cheated on him 3 times throughout the relationship. Jesus Christ. And here's the thing. I think the basketball player that we see in the 2020s is the best we've seen of Ben Simmons because he's 23, and I think he has peaked. Yeah, whenever people get excited for you making threes, you only made 2 of them the entire year, that lets me know you're not making shots in practice. So this week's Yellow Box of Cheerios award recipient is none less than Ben Simmons.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
If he's
I'm
peaked,
worried about him. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, no, I'm
If
worried
you
about
go back to that,
at the 3 times.
man, allegedly 3, so it's probably you gotta round up. I mean, she cheated 3 times. She's cheated 6 times.
Tough.
Easy.
Easy.
A whole lot.
Yeah, most definitely. Jesus Christ. Clearly, he's not the
shout
smartest
easy,
kid in the world, but How you guys feel about Ben Simmons? You think he will progress and get to the player that we assume that he would be?
I think he will be. Yeah. It'll happen once he cuts her off. But he's progressing.
We have homeboys.
Yeah, he's a part of Clutch.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
What about are they his homeboy? Are they his business partners or his homeboy? That's different.
Hey man,
Somebody got to call you. Like, hey.
Here's the thing. He's also Australian too.
Yeah, it's different.
Sure.
It's different. Yeah. I just wouldn't put my long term money into a kid that makes bad decisions like that. Decision making skills are below average.
I know who you would put your money into though. No.
Ain't doing it. Okay.
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah. That stock is rising, Pauls.
Ooh.
Can't knock it.
Weezy?
Shout out to Parham. I know you listening.
Hey.
Listen.
He was a non-believer.
He was a non-believer. And that boy there,
Cook show.
He's speaking for sure. Still of the draft.
Still of the draft.
Most definitely. You guys ready to get started the first half?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
The first half is underway.
First half, the hottest sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week here at the Full Sport Press Podcast. Before we get started, I am J Ho.
It's your boy Big Joe.
I'm Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Locke, where can they find you at on social media, my brother?
Same place, my brother. Locke_the_great. That's THA on IG and Twitter.
Sure. Jeff, what about you, my brother?
JEasley84 across all social media platforms.
Sure about
Got
you,
a quick
Weezy.
announcement though.
A quick announcement. Okay.
Got Snapchat.
Wide open. Everything open. Kingdom unlocked.
Unlock it then.
As the first 2 years.
Look at that.
Feel a little weird, but you know what I'm saying? We out here though.
Look at the boys from Africa. That's
Lord have mercy. He done
Well, you
unlocked the kingdom.
I gotta check in on that in 2 weeks, Weezy.
Yeah.
That thing will be locked right back up. Right back
Church
up.
doors is open.
Soon as something weird happens.
Yeah.
It's over.
You lock that thing back up.
Cancel it.
What about you, Weezy?
I'm FSP Weezy on IG. And I'm no.
Damn, Weezy the first
No,
one of the year.
FSP on IG and I'm at How Weezy on Twitter. Holla at me.
Holla at you, baby. Yep. And I'm J Hove on Instagram, on Twitter. It's a long line.
Was I in your top 7 on MySpace?
Oh my God.
You had it in MySpace?
Oh, I guess I wouldn't get top 7. They answered that question.
Holy
Holy moly.
I remember being on MySpace.
I remember Coach Locke. I gotta tell you about that at the air. I remember what he said in his little bio. I
don't even remember what he said.
You gotta talk into the mic because they couldn't even hear.
I don't know.
They
couldn't hear nothing.
They heard it, but it was just loud. Just make sure you talk to it. And it's FSP_cameraman on Instagram for sure. He records the bloopers. Don't post
This should
the
be.
bloopers.
Nah, bloopers rough.
Is it gonna be right there?
Yeah, no, sure. I hope so.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to youtube.com/Full Sport Press. Find us on there. Yeah. You can watch us, watch Weezy, watch Coach Locke, watch myself and Jeff for sure. Weezy, you got a new segment. It's not really that new, but it's new.
New segment, man.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the last segment. Last of my
Sure
segment,
is,
man. Is it?
You had a good run.
Had a good run.
You got to find something with the NBA.
Oh, that's better. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Here we go.
I try to help you out, Weezy.
All right,
I
here
try
we
to help you
go.
out.
I asked for 5, Coach,
How
but
many
they gave me 3.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. Guess what, Joe?
What's going on?
Tom Brady needed to win 1 game to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Guess who beat him?
Fitz magic.
Your boys, the Miami Dolphins, man. He threw a pick 6 as they won the game 27-24. Did you see that happening?
No.
Number 2, my boy. Well, this is cameraman's boy, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was told that to Derrick Henry late in the 4th quarter, man, that he needs 53 yards to win, to be the NFL's leading rusher.
Yep.
And Mike Mularkey. Mike Verbal told him, man, you got 2 series to get this title. If not, you're coming out.
Sure.
What did Derrick Henry do? Bust a 53-yard run late in the 4th quarter.
That's how you do it.
Get it done.
Get on out of there.
That's the leading rusher. He had 32 carries for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Tighten up.
It's a lot of carries.
Number 3, this is J Boy. Tampa Bay had a chance to win the game, man. Had a chance to win the game, 22-22 all. In overtime, he had the ball. They won the coin toss. They won the ball first. Jameis drops back and throws the interception to lead the league with 33 picks.
Not only an interception, though.
He 33 touchdowns.
He had 33 touchdowns and 30 picks.
33 touchdowns, 30 picks, 5K.
And guess what?
5K.
5K.
5.
7 of those picks returned for pick 6.
Yeah, he had 7 pick 6s.
5K though.
That don't matter. That don't matter if you throw 7 pick sixes.
5K is 5K.
I'm still keeping him if I'm Tampa Bay.
I take him in Buffalo right now.
I ain't
Josh
taking him
Allen,
in
you don't
Right
want Josh Allen?
now.
Josh
Right
Allen,
now.
he's very inaccurate. He ain't throwing for 5K.
Josh Allen can't get a 10-yard out.
That's 3 and out.
It's 3 and
That
out.
was a good run, fella.
It's a good run.
Sure.
The 2000,
Yeah, you should.
okay. The 2019 NFL season is over, guys. Like we just said, the playoff field is set. The road to the Super Bowl title is cemented. The 49ers, all right, Coach Lock, flexing on us. Jay,
Yeah.
all right.
Quest for 6. We trying to get that 6, boy.
All right.
Yes,
and
sir.
the Baltimore Ravens have the top seeds in their respective conferences, with the Green Bay Packers and Kansas City Chiefs right behind them. So after laying out the schedule for Saturday and Sunday, we'll take a look at each matchup and predict how they'll play out for Wild Card Weekend. Game 1, my Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans is going to be Saturday at 4:35 p.m. Texans are the favorite. Who you guys got? Coach Lock, who you got?
I got the Texans winning this one 24-17. I think it's going to be close. 2 of the best offensive players in the league, in DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson. But what's going to make it close, the Texans defense, man, they're giving up 388 yards per game. Buffalo has the second best scoring defense in the league and 3rd in yards allowed. But I think Deshaun Watson, experience in the playoffs before and playing at home with that Texas crowd, is going to help them prevail. So I'm going with the Texans 24-17.
No, for sure. I got the Bills winning 24-17. I think Deshaun Watson being a household name is one of the best things I've seen this year. People don't talk about it enough. D-Hop, me and Jeff's guy, kind of trended down this year for sure. But Houston is an average offensive team. Let's just keep it real.
Let's keep it buck.
That's bad news going against the league's second best scoring defense. So with J.J. Watt coming back, that's going to give him a little jolt. But I don't think it'll be enough. Have the Bulls. I said the Bulls because I need the Bulls to win some games. Jesus Christ, I need the Bulls to win some games. Have the Bills winning 24-17.
I have the Bills winning also 27-24.
What the hell?
By
was
late.
27 points at?
Huh?
Never mind. Go ahead. This your prediction.
Yeah, a late field goal.
Okay.
Because, if you notice, man, the Texans, they've been struggling for the last couple weeks. Like, they had to beat Jameis he threw 5 picks that game, and they barely beat him.
Yeah.
He threw 5 picks. So they've been struggling. But, with J.J. Watt coming back, like, they jumped back up. Like, when he was playing, they was number 15 in total defense. Now, without him, they dropped down to dead last. So, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills, man, with Josh Allen.
Jeff, who you got?
Keep this short and simple. Bills 10-7.
Jesus. Man, that's going to be more than 17 points scored in that game.
Listen to me. We want to keep every game that we play in a dogfight. The last thing we want to have to happen is Josh Allen to have to throw the ball. Now, Singletary, Frank Gore, whoever else can break a couple of long runs. Cole Beasley catch a little short slant, get himself, a couple of yards here or there. Fine. We don't want a shootout with Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. We don't want to do that. We want a slow, boring football game. 10-7 Buffalo Bills.
Huh.
All right.
Ooh, that's tough.
I don't think the Texans have enough running game to make it interesting. But 10-7 though, Jeff? Damn. Nah,
We want a slug. We don't want to score. We want a slugfest.
y'all offense is trash. That's true.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. For sure.
Game 2, the Tennessee Titans at New England Patriots. It's also Saturday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time.
Don't call me that now. I'll be watching TV.
Who you got? Weezy, start with you.
I got the Titans winning that game, and a close one. Man. I think the way Derrick Henry's running, A.J. Brown's, he's probably playing the best as a rookie wide receiver. Probably he's maybe top 10 in the league to end the season at wide receiver right now. At A.J. Brown, Tannehill's playing super accurate. I just he's like throwing 66% right now. Tom Brady, they're just not playing good right now. The offense is sputtering.
Yeah. Sputtering, it's a good word.
Yeah, it is for sure.
They can't get open. Nobody but Edelman. So, but we'll see. I got the Titans winning 21-17.
Jay?
Yeah. I have the Patriots winning 27-17. New England has a history of health on their side this year. I think Brady had something to prove, even though he couldn't find his rhythm with his wide receivers the last couple of games. The Titans are in a groove, like Weezy said. Making that transition from Mariota to Tannehill proved to be a season saver. So Derrick Henry, AJ Brown playing at a high level, I still don't think that the Patriots are ready to let this one go. They look very vulnerable though, but I have them winning 27-17 for sure.
I have the Packs also 27-14. The Packs, they haven't lost a postseason game at home since losing to Baltimore in the divisional round since in 2012, and they haven't lost a wild card game at home in a decade. They finished 7th in points per game. They have one of the top ranked defenses, even though, like everybody said, the offense hasn't been clicking like normal. It's just hard to bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs at home. Even though the Titans have no one rushing NFL and Derrick Henry and Belichick, he's going to have a game plan to stop that. He's going to figure out a way to slow Derrick Henry down enough to make the Titans vulnerable. And Tannehill, my boy, he's had a resurrection, but, you know, he didn't have a lot of film, you know. But that's my guy. Y'all give me hell about Tannehill. And he's about to get paid. He has helped the Titans.
1 year deal, like Jacoby Brissett got.
Hey.
No, he going to get franchised $33 million.
Oh, Lord.
I hope we don't give him no $33 million.
Yeah, he going to get franchised.
Sure.
But I got the Patriots 27-14.
Got to blowing us out.
I got the Titans 27-10. Titans in a blowout.
Titans in a blowout.
Titans in an easy game.
like
Brady only putting up 10 points.
Yeah, nah.
The defense that the Titans gonna bring out there, they got something to prove. After the last time they played the Patriots and everyone wrote them off, and rightfully so, and the Patriots blew them out. If the Titans are for real, if Tannehill deserves this money, if all the hype is correct about AJ Brown and Derrick Henry, they should beat the Patriots easy.
Y'all do know that the Patriots have a top 10 defense still.
Exactly what I said.
I agree, but can they have a hard time stopping the run? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, but the thing is, the way that Derrick Henry runs is the kind of run that it's really easy for the Titans, not for the Titans, for the Patriots to stop though. I really think so.
Because I
don't think it's a defense.
He ain't shifty.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a defense in the NFL right now to want to hit that for 4 quarters. Pause.
That'd be
maybe
fine.
Buffalo.
But here's the thing, though. They're
They're
gonna
not gonna
get
be behind. They're not gonna be able to run the ball like that.
Exactly.
I hope you all are right.
And then you have AJ Brown. Then you have Corey Davis. But you also have on the other side of the ball,
Jonnu Smith. Who's going Jonnu Smith?
you got Gilmore, dog.
He only can take off one.
Yeah,
He
nah.
only take off one player.
I'm not worried about anybody else on that team but AJ Brown in the wide receiver position.
Okay, I think you will regret not mentioning Jonnu Smith. I'll say that.
We got
We'll
Odell
see.
Jackson coming back too, so we should be all right.
We gonna see.
All right, so Sunday's games. I'm starting with the Minnesota Vikings at the New Orleans Saints. It's the midday game. Weezy, what you got?
In that game, man, that game's gonna be closer than what people think. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I think Minnesota's defense is very underrated, and I think the Saints defense is very good. And Drew Brees has been playing out of his mind. In the last month, he's thrown 15 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the last month. So, and he's throwing the can't guard Mike, who doesn't drop anything. And Alvin Kamara's been, he got his feet back under him. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I think that coach from Minnesota, I can't say his last name. Mike Zimmerman. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL when it comes to study and stuff like that. So I think that he would have a correct scheme for Drew Brees, but I just don't see him hold them off. So I got Drew Brees winning the game, the Saints winning the game. Close, maybe like 24-14.
Coach Lock, who you got?
I have the Saints winning 33-24. The Saints are on a revenge tour. Mm-hmm. They are putting up points like crazy. Those last 2 years are really in the back of their head. Losing last year to the Vikings last year to the Rams on a blown PI call, and the year before that against the Vikings on the wasn't a Hail Mary, but just a blown coverage where the Vikings scored at the end when everyone thought the game was over. And then we know Drew Brees and the Saints, they're hard to beat at home. They haven't lost a home playoff game since 1992 other than the blown PI call last year. So when they play at home in the playoffs, they're hard to beat. In order for the Vikings to win this game, I think, though, they will have to control the game with Dalvin Cook. If they can get Dalvin Cook going and they are able to keep Drew Brees off the field and eat up some of their clock, the Vikings will have a chance. But I don't think they're going to do that. So I have the Saints winning 33-24.
He is a Seminole too, Coach.
He is a Seminole.
He is a Seminole.
Most definitely.
All right. I got the Saints winning this one. In a close game, they score. Drew Brees drives down with a minute left, wins the game, like 28-21 or something like that. It's gonna be a very close game though. In the last game on
I didn't even get to go, dog.
you didn't?
Nah.
Apologies, my bro.
I thought you
all
were just
good.
changing the
I was
That's all
saying
good. That's all good. Yeah. I have the Saints winning 30-21. I think the Vikings knew that they would be in for a tough road game. I think the Saints are the hottest team in the entire NFL side of Baltimore. I think they'll be boosted with the Saints, with Kamara coming back, putting them alongside Mike Thomas. It's going to be it, man. It's going to be tough. Stephon Diggs, Thielen. I think that's one of the best combos in the entire NFL. But the Saints are in a different weight class, man. I got the Saints winning by at least 10.
Real quick, guys. You know what's funny? Well, everybody picked the Saints to win, but nobody mentioned Kirk Cousins. That's how sorry he is. Not one of us
even
mentioned
sorry,
anything about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to depend on Kirk Cousins if you're Minnesota.
Yeah, but they just said like they got a good wide receiver core, but he didn't mention the quarterback getting
Yeah,
the
they gotta
ball.
do
They
the
brought him to the
quarterback.
dance.
Yeah.
They've carried him here.
Yeah.
All right. In the last game of Wild Card Weekend, got the Seahawks of Seattle at the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, start off with you, Jay.
I got the Eagles winning 27-24. I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. Philly is just playing inspired football. They're getting healthy at the right time, and they're on fire right now. So I think Seattle lost 3 of their last 4.
Yes, sir.
So including, I don't know how the hell they lost at home to the Cardinals in Week 16, but
They did.
for sure.
That made that game.
Yeah, you can't count out Russell Wilson though. Still have him, but when their defense is clicking with the Seahawks, man, on paper it feels like a coin flip, and I'm flipping it to the Eagles.
Weez?
Yeah, I'm with Jay on that with the Eagles. I just think the Eagles the secondary is not good, but they're playing well now.
Okay.
They're playing well. Not Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. Carson Wentz has got all the tools. I think he's one. When he's healthy, I think he can be top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
Miles Sanders is playing great. Plus, they got that Frank Wright, man. He was a brilliant play caller. And I just don't think the Seahawks they depend on Russell Wilson so much that I just think he can't do it all by himself. He can't do it all by himself. So I got the Eagles winning.
I have the Seahawks 24-17. Both teams have been plagued by injuries that have affected them tremendously. The Seahawks defense is not as good as it normally has been in the past, but they still have Jadeveon Clowney and that defensive line that rushes pretty good. They always have Russell Wilson, who's always left. You're never out of the game. You have him to the clock actually says 0.
Right.
So I think that's going to give Seattle the edge. Even though Carson Wentz threw for 4,000 yards, he doesn't have those big-time names that have the experience. And I think that experience that Russell Wilson has in the playoffs is going to come into effect. And the fact that you have Marshawn Lynch back, he's getting his legs under him. He'll be able to be more involved in the playbook because he has more time to learn the playbook. So they won't have to only use him on first down and maybe second down. They'll better keep him in on third down if they want to now. So I have the Seahawks winning that game 24-17.
I got the Seahawks winning as well, 21-17. With, like you said, Marshawn being back, having a respectable running game. Russell Wilson, that receiving core is better than people give it credit for, and minus the injuries.
Yeah, minus the injuries.
Yeah, minus the injuries. Yeah. so I do think they'll be able to make this win count. So I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks.
It's gonna be an interesting weekend, man. I'm
Wild
excited
card
about
weekend.
football.
Wild
Sure.
card
I
weekend.
know Weezy's excited. He gets to watch football uninterrupted.
But
It feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, ready to start the second half.
Let's do it.
I'm sorry, halftime. Excuse me.
That
there
too.
you go.
Yeah.
We're at the midway point. Enjoy all of the halftime festivities.
Halftime. Where are they now? Weezy, have you ever wondered what happened to your favorite athlete from your childhood?
We have two.
That's right. This week's Where Are They Now is Jamal Lewis. Yeah. So Jamal Lewis earned All-State honors in football and track in Atlanta, Georgia. Lewis was ranked as the number 1 running back in the country coming out of high school. He chose Tennessee over Georgia. As a freshman in Tennessee in 1997, Lewis ran for 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns. He ranks 5th on university's list of all-time rushers and 4th in all-purpose yards as well. He was drafted 5th overall in 2000 by the Ravens. Now, in 2003, Lewis led the NFL in rushing with 2,000 rushing yards, falling 40 yards short of the all-time single-season rushing record. In that same year, he broke Corey Dillon's single-game rushing record with 295 yards against the Cleveland Browns. That record was broken in 2007 by, anybody got a guess?
Jamal Lewis.
No. Adrian Peterson with 296. In 2004, Lewis was charged with intent to sell 5 keys of cocaine.
Jesus.
And was ultimately sentenced to 4 months in prison in 2005. The Ravens, of course, declined his team option. He was signed with the Browns in 2008. After a conviction of crack cocaine, he had his first 1,300-yard season since 2003 with the Browns. In 2010, he was released after Lewis was placed on the injured reserve and never played another game in the NFL. Lewis was voted to the 2000s All-Decade team in 2015, and in 2018, he made national headlines when reports surfaced that he sold a Super Bowl ring at an auction. What really happened is that he took out a loan that I think it was set up with 2 business enterprises, and when the company called back to get their money back, he said he couldn't do it because of the economic downturn. He couldn't pay the full. So it was just $50,000 in that same year. He also admitted that he suffered from PTSD with the effects of concussions. Today, he is the president of Metro Exhibits, which provides exhibit and trade show services throughout the United States. Jamal Lewis, career earnings.
36.
My turn.
Yep.
$51 million.
37.
Weezy cheated. $52 million. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I need to
Nah,
go to
you
Vegas.
cheated that.
No, I didn't.
You put that on me.
I put everything.
Oh, okay. That's cool. There we go, Jamal Lewis, man. And remember, Starlito said, you learn anything from Jamal Lewis and they knew?
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
You stupid.
Sure. Shout out to Nashville. You guys ready to get started the second half?
Let's do it.
The second half is underway.
Second half of the 2019 NFL Postseason Award Show. I am J Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
And Weezy, what it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
The 2019 NFL season is officially over, and the playoffs will start this weekend. With the season being over, it's time to hand out a whole bunch of awards. As football fans, we know considerably more about the league than we did when we tried this exercise during the preseason. So stop what you're doing right now. Listen to episode 286 for our 2019 NFL Preseason Awards Show. Without further ado, FSP is here to give our postseason awards and laugh at our preseason award predictions. Let's kick it off with question 1. Our offensive player of the year. Now, my preseason prediction was Saquon Barkley. What about the rest of the table?
I also had Saquon Barkley.
I had Alvin Kamara.
I had Alvin Kamara.
All right. Let's go through our postseason prediction, and I'll kick it off. I had Mike Thomas, man. Mike Thomas did something that no other player has ever done. He caught 149 passes. That broke a 17-year-old record. So anytime you break something that's stood up for 17 years, that's something that you deserve an award for sure.
All right, which with Mike Thomas?
Yeah.
I couldn't. You can't argue with that. 149 passes, 1,700 yards. And the most impressive thing to me, he only dropped the ball 3 times. How you catch 149 passes and only dropped the ball 3 times?
That's nuts.
It's impressive.
That's crazy.
I also had Michael Thomas, and for everything you mentioned, no need for me to repeat it.
Right.
The one thing I will say is that he did all of this with Drew Brees missing 6 weeks.
Right.
Can you imagine if Drew Brees would have played those games?
Sure.
He probably would have had more than 149.
Talk to him,
No,
Coach.
for sure. Every season, this dude's receptions have went up every year from 92 to 104 to 129 and now to 149. So shout out to Kango and Mike.
I also had Mike.
Yeah.
For everything we said, don't need to go any further.
Wow.
Dude, what a
Consensus.
season
Unanimous.
by a wide receiver. What a season, man. That was fun to watch.
Huh.
Wish I drafted him on my fantasy team.
Man,
You know, but whatever.
I just knew somebody was going to go Lamar here.
I think somebody's going to go White Lightning.
White
I
Lightning?
thought somebody was going to go
Why
Christian McCaffrey, too.
Yeah.
They-
Nah, man. But what Mike Thomas was doing every game, multiple double-digit catches pretty much. No matter what you did to him, scheme-wise, whoever you put on him, he's open.
Our next thing on the list is offensive rookie of the year.
Sure.
Who'd y'all have for y'all preseason offensive rookie of the year?
I had Josh Jacobs.
I also had Josh Jacobs.
I also had Josh Jacobs.
All right.
I had Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Solid.
So who's your postseason pick, Will?
Kyler Murray.
Really?
Yeah, for sure, man. Kyler Murray he threw for 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns. He had 12 picks, but he also rushed for 544 yards, only to be outdone by Lamar Jackson. So he threw 64% of the passes. I mean, he threw 64%. So, you can't argue with that, man.
He had a good year. Way better year than I thought he was going to have, for sure.
I'm glad you said that, man. It made me feel good, man.
Sure. I have A.J. Brown. Wow. He finished his rookie campaign with 52 catches and 1,000 yards, 9 total touchdowns. He's the first Titans pass catcher to have 1,000 yards since tight end Delaney Walker in 2015. So A.J. Brown finished second in the league in yards per catch as well. So great year for A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I think that's a solid pick. I just think he came along a little bit too late.
Too late, for sure.
But I'm going to stick with Josh Jacobs.
I like that.
He was better than advertised. 1,100 yards from scrimmage rushing. With that team, kept that team in it. Anytime I see a guy crying on the sideline because he can't play in a big game, when one of those last few games where Oakland was actually still playoff eligible, my kind of player. So give me Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
I went back and forth between Kyler Murray and A.J. Brown, and I decided to go with Kyler Murray. Like we just said, 3,700 plus yards, 64% completion percentage. Also 544 yards rushing with 4 touchdowns, averaging 5.8 yards per carry. And he did all this with no line. If you watched any Arizona Cardinals games, he was on the run all the time.
Yeah.
You're right.
So other than Larry Fitzgerald, he really didn't have no really big weapons too much. So like you said, I didn't think Kyler Murray was going to do this. Weezy always said from the beginning, so I'm going to give him his props, and I went with Kyler Murray for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
No, for sure. The thing is with A.J. Brown, man, we're not talking about, man. People had Corey Davis, Adam Humphries, Delaney Walker was the best pass catcher on that team. A.J. Brown is the best wide receiver, tight end, whatever you want to look at with that Titans team, for sure.
I called A.J. Brown, too.
Who got next?
Next, we have Defensive Player of the Year. So who did you guys have for your preseason prediction?
I had Myles Garrett.
Also had Myles Garrett.
I had Jamal Adams.
I had Aaron Donald.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
My defensive player of the year this year was Cameron Jordan from the New Orleans Saints. 15 and a half sacks. He had 3 forced fumbles. I mean, the numbers is not eye-popping, but he is the defense, man.
I agree.
He makes a play every single time they need a play. If it's a fumble, if it's anything, he makes that play. A strip sack, he makes the play.
Yeah. No, for sure. I like that, Weezy. My postseason prediction is Stephon Gilmore. He had the most difficult challenge in convincing voters because of the position he plays, right? There hasn't been a cornerback to win a Defensive Player of the Year since Charles Woodson, and before that it was Deion Sanders. So cornerbacks are tough to sell because we don't see them as much. They're just on the outside doing work, but he was actually the most dominant defensive corner I've seen since the days of Darrelle Revis, peak Revis. This guy only allowed 24 catches the entire year for 280 yards and targeting him in the man coverage, 12.2 passer rating for the quarterbacks, man. So, and he led the league in picks, tied for first. So shout out to Stephon Gilmore, definitely defensive player of the year for me.
I had Stephon Gilmore as well for everything you said. Also, not afraid to, stick his nose in there for a tackle as well.
Sure.
Helping out, like I said, leading the league in assists. Also with the 2 touchdowns for, after the, I'm not leading the league in assists, leading the league in interception, excuse me.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, hey, man, you know me.
That's a fake laugh, too.
That was a real one.
That was a fake. Okay. What you got, Coach?
I had Stephon Gilmore also.
Oh, my God.
Check this out, guys.
He has been the nearest defending coach for 86 targets this season, which is tied for 10th most in the NFL. He allowed a passer rating of 29.6 on those targets, which is second best in the NFL, with the cornerback with 200 more coverage snaps. So I don't understand how, you couldn't look at him for his postseason prediction to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Sure.
All right. So it's on me, right?
Yeah, it is.
All right, fellas. Let's go to your defensive rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my preseason prediction was Devin Bush.
Also had Devin Bush.
My preseason was Brian Burns.
What that is. I had Josh Allen.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Let's go through our
I'm
postseason.
gonna believe I heard his name called all year.
No, you did.
No.
No, you did.
No. Who would you have, Weezy?
I went with Devin Bush
Yeah,
as
he had a good year.
the defense rookie of the
What'd you
year.
say, Jay?
He had a good year.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he did.
Yeah, he's like, he did what he's supposed to do on that defense. That defense was nothing. He didn't play like a rookie at all.
For sure.
He didn't play like a rookie at all.
That kid was built to play middle linebacker.
For sure.
100%.
I go. I'm going to stick with Devin Bush. I said on the preseason show. Unfortunately, he's the Ryan Shazier replacement.
Mm-hmm.
But just watching this kid play, watching the defense period this year, what they did, what they were able to do was special, and he was everywhere. And again, that's my defense rookie of the year. Well,
Sure. My postseason prediction, I have Nick Bosa. I don't think this is the easiest pick of as far as awards to give out.
think it is the easiest.
Nick Bosa. I didn't pick him, but because I have a little problem with Nick Bosa. But yeah,
I mean, that's why.
yeah, he's been the most consistent every down for us by any other rookie defender by a large amount. I think he's one of the best players on our entire defense. He keeps the defense going, and it won't be long before he's competing for Defensive Player of the Year honors for sure.
I agree
for sure.
For everything you said, I had Nick Bosa also. 9 sacks, 47 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 interception. And he's been mentioned this year for Defensive Player of the Year. So you had to look down the road.
Yeah.
You can look into it this year. His name is being brought up when you think of Defensive Player of the Year. He just does everything. He pressures the quarterback. He just controls the line from that end over there. So I went with Nick Bosa also.
Our defense took a giant leap forward this year, and I think it had a lot to do with Nick Bosa.
And when you think about it, man, that was a perfect pick for the Niners. So
Yeah,
couldn't
for
go
sure.
wrong with him.
And we picked defensive linemen in the last 4 years, so we were bound to hit one for sure.
Got to get one right eventually.
Got to. Next question is breakout player of the year. My preseason prediction was James Washington, the Steelers.
Okay. My preseason prediction was Lamar Jackson.
Go ahead, Weezy.
I was right there with you, Jay, with James Washington.
For sure.
My preseason was Mike Williams.
We all sucked on that one, except Jeff.
Except for Jeff. For sure. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm sticking with mine. What a year. Called the 12 wins at this particular point in the show, preseason show. Called the breakout by the coach. Pretty much predicted this how I was going to fall.
Now, I did say that he was going to kill in that episode. You go back and listen, but I said he would be injured by
week
six.
7.
Yeah,
He
for
said
sure.
week 7 he's going to be hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
He did say that.
And that did not happen.
No,
Yeah,
it didn't.
good.
God.
Thank goodness it didn't.
Yeah, for sure. My postseason prediction was Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Rodgers isn't going anywhere as the face of the Green Bay Packers, but one could argue that Aaron Jones has been just as important this season. 19 total touchdowns, dog. Damn near 20 touchdowns on any level is huge. And you won't see, with Devontae Adams being the number one, he's a great player. But in turn, I really think with the way that they use Aaron Jones in space, man, he's going to be good for the Packers for a very long time.
Did you I know you're saying breakout, but I didn't see it with dude. This year was crazy with him.
I remember I would talk to Chris, and he's a Packers fan. He
Right.
was like, Aaron Jones is really good. We don't need another running back. But nobody saw the year 19
this
total.
Is amazing.
That's crazy.
For him. Yeah.
No, for sure. All right, my breakout player of the year was Derrick Henry for the Tennessee Titans.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, some people say he's not a breakout, but this is a breakout year for him.
It was.
It was a breakout year with 1,500 yards, lead the league in rushing. He had 303 carries, 16 touchdowns, averaging 5.8 yards a carry. Not only that, he made the offense go. In order for Tannehill to throw the football, we had to run the football. So
For sure.
I'm gonna give it to Derrick Henry.
I think it's kind of scary. He's running like that for a contract, though. So
He gonna get it.
yeah, he's gonna
How
get
you gonna get it?
Yeah, for sure.
You better give it to him.
I went with TJ Watt. As a rookie, he had an overall Pro Football Focus grade of 71, 42 pressures, and 8 sacks. His second year, he went up to 52 pressures and 6 forced fumbles. And now this year, he has 81 pressures, 8 forced fumbles, had the highest Pro Football Focus pass rush grade of any edge rusher, and had 8 forced fumbles and 2 interceptions this year. So I went with TJ Watt.
Solid, coach. I'm not mad at that at all.
That's a good pick, coach. I didn't see that one.
That's on Weezy.
Oh, comeback player of the year. Comeback player of the year. Who y'all have for y'all preseason comeback player of the year?
I had Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. I had Le'Veon Bell.
I had Le'Veon Bell as well.
I had old Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. Yeah, he was hurt, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good pick. All right. You want to start out, Coach?
I go. I'm sticking with my pick, Jimmy Garoppolo. He like you just mentioned, Jeff. He tore his knee up last year, and this year he's led my 49ers to the number 1 seed in NFC. He threw for over 3,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 69% completion percentage. He just kind of steadied the ship. We haven't had a consistent quarterback since Kaepernick in San Francisco, and when we did have that, that's when we went to the Super Bowl. So hopefully Jimmy G can keep this train going and get us to the Super Bowl again this year. So I went with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Shout out to Jimmy G. I'm going to stick with Cooper Kupp. We lost Cooper Kupp in the second half of the 2018 season with a torn ACL.
Right.
He returned to have 94 catches. That's nuts. Two of the big reasons he can be even better next year. For one, if you look at a player like Dalvin Cook, who came back in his second year after coming off an ACL injury, he had a better year. So the Rams may also recover from that offensive slump that we saw them in. So Jared Goff has been the same efficient passer, and shout out to Weezy for that call. 19 touchdowns, 21 turnovers. But a bounce-back year from Goff, coupled with more consistent line play, should have Kupp right at the number 5, top 5. He'll definitely be in our top 7 wide receivers next year, for sure.
Yeah, if I definitely changed my pick from Le'Veon Bell to Cooper Kupp. From a fantasy standpoint, what a player. What a player. He was always open. The stats like Jay mentioned. But in all seriousness, though, to come back from that injury like that, and that offense when it was not doing well, he was the one bright spot. When the running game wasn't working, when the passing game, when the quarterback wasn't finding anybody else, he could find Cooper Kupp.
Sure.
So I go with comeback player of the year, Cooper Kupp.
My comeback player of the year was Ryan Tannehill for the Tennessee Titans.
That's solid.
For sure.
A couple of homer picks you got there.
Yeah, a couple of home picks for sure.
That's a solid pick.
Yeah, I mean, we started him a week too late. He should have came in halftime of the Buffalo game, but once he came in, he won 3 games in a row for sure. He threw for 22 touchdowns, 2,000 yards. He also rushed for 4 touchdowns, and he just
12 picks.
12 picks for sure. Thanks, Jay.
He went 7-3 as a starter, though.
He did,
Yeah.
though. Yeah, for sure. He played out his
Like
mind.
before the offense was stagnant, we couldn't score points.
Yeah.
When he came in, the offense opened up, man. So
That
shout out to
Denver
Ryan
game was rough.
Tannehill.
Sure.
All right. Let's go on to sophomore slump.
It got ugly right here.
My preseason prediction was Baker Mayfield.
My preseason prediction was Philip Lindsay.
My preseason was Philip Lindsay.
My preseason was Lamar Jackson.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Goodness.
Look, Weezy picked LJ. I put that right there. Make sure.
That's rough.
Yeah. Well, you got your postseason prediction, Weezy.
Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield, for everything you've seen this year. he just couldn't put it all together. I think he got to it mentally. He was just bad, man. Bad media person. He can't throw the football. But I can't blame it all on him because the whole organization is a mess right now. But he definitely fell in a slump.
Yeah, no, he had a rough going. That's also my postseason prediction as well. 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 21 picks, 6-10 record, questionable maturity. And the bad thing about this, the GM that drafted you in the first round, the first overall pick, is now gone. So this season is a make or break year for Baker Mayfield. It's virtually impossible to admit that it's not. And he knows that, and the entire Browns organization needs a facelift, and it might start at quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's one of the reasons why the Browns were as bad as they were. That's why I had Baker Mayfield also, because for you to have Odell on one side and Jarvis Landry on the other, and you have them complaining about can't get the ball, clearly says that you can't get them the ball. And, it might be play calling, could be. We would never know that, but you still threw 21 picks. That's a lot of interceptions. So I have Baker Mayfield also, so my sophomore slump postseason prediction.
I kept my pick the same. I said the team would implode by week 4. The team imploded by week 4. And Baker was right at the helm when it imploded. 21 picks, like Jay said. 22 touchdowns, right? Yeah, 22 touchdowns. I mean, you have too many. Your options on each side, man. And we've talked about the maturity. That's one thing. Nothing wrong with having a little moxie as your quarterback. It's all good. But you can't attack the media and not back it up. That's when you get that bad reputation. That's when you get that bad, taste of your mouth, pause for everything you're doing. And that's why my sophomore slump is Baker Mayfield.
Sure.
All right. So next we have fall off player of the year. Who did you guys have for your preseason prediction?
My preseason prediction was Jared Goff.
I had Patrick Mahomes.
Sure did.
You sure did.
That's
I
how
mean,
it was.
he
No,
it
I
fell
know.
off compared to
Sure did
50.
have
It's-
Patrick.
But here's the thing: you 50 touchdowns, 6 picks.
Make it sound good.
Yeah, whatever makes you
make it
sleep at
sound
night.
good.
Did
Whatever
he
gets
fall
you-
off from that cameraman?
Make
Did
it
he have
sound
Same
good.
seed.
Did he have 50 touchdowns?
49 is falling off. You look at it like that.
Yeah,
Whatever,
36.
whatever gets
Hey,
you sleep
man,
at
come
night.
on. Right.
What you got, Weezy? Who you have, Weezy?
George Kittle.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
He's
Wow.
number one tight end in the country right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
George Kittle.
I had Joe Mixon.
That ain't good neither, coach.
I know.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
at least it wasn't, wasn't Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes.
won the MVP.
Yeah, he didn't win MVP.
I'm saying he's the reigning MVP.
Yeah, he didn't win.
Yeah, I'm just
He didn't,
saying.
he didn't have 50 touchdowns. Anyway, my postseason prediction is David Johnson. He was a top 6 pick overall in fantasy in every league. Back and ankle issues caused the Cardinals to trade for Kenyon Drake following week 8. Upon his return, he didn't even do anything of importance and didn't even get an offensive snap in week 17. So he's 28 years old now. His future with the Cardinals is very uncertain. Probably need to move on to a different team, different situation, but get back to that top 5 running back title he once had.
And that fall off happened so fast.
I'm sad.
Like,
Yeah.
because he, like you said, coming into the season, top 5, top 6 fantasy pick. No, and as soon as he got hurt, Kenyon Drake steps right in, and he doesn't see the field again.
Nope.
Nope.
At all, and it's inexplicable. I don't know where he would go. You know what I mean? Like, but I have him as well as my postseason pick. Like, I wanted to stick with Jared Goff, but the David Johnson situation is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was
man.
tough.
Yeah.
That was tough to watch.
My fallout player was Phillip Rivers.
That's pretty solid.
Not bad.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers, man. He's secretly one of my favorite quarterbacks, but he just was horrible this year.
Yeah.
He just like that team was a great team last year,
It was.
a playoff team last year, and he goes from throwing 20 touchdowns to 20 picks.
Yeah.
So I can't roll with that. He fell off Phillip Rivers.
Shout out my guy D Harris. He always says 3 things you could depend on: God, Texas, and Phillip Rivers down by 7 or down by 3 with no touchdowns left with a minute left.
Yep.
And no timeouts left with a minute.
Yep.
Every game. And this year it just came back to haunt him. Every other year he wins those games, but this year he threw a pick or couldn't find a receiver or whatever happened. It just wasn't his year this year.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
My postseason prediction is Weezy's boy Marcus Mariota.
He fell off.
Last year, 2,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 69% completion percentage to 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a 59% completion percentage. Lost his starting job to Ryan Tannehill, who everybody had thrown away.
Sure.
They could not score, as you've mentioned earlier, Weezy, and then they take Mariota out, put Tannehill in the game, and all of a sudden, we scoring points left and right. And he led them to the playoffs, where we know that if Mariota's still in there, they will not playoff bound. So this might be the end of Marcus Mariota in Tennessee. He might be holding a clipboard next year for someone else.
holding
But
one
I'm
now.
with postseason prediction of Marcus Mariota.
Sure.
All right. Next thing on this is Coach of the Year.
Oh.
What y'all have preseason Coach of the Year?
I had Mike Tomlin.
That's not bad. I had Pete Carroll.
Oh, my God. I had John Gruden.
I had Bruce Arians.
Okay. Who's your postseason prediction, fellas?
I'm going to go with my man Harbaugh in Baltimore.
Yes,
Throw the record out the way. Throw the records out the way as far as what Lamar Jackson's able to do. It's something to be said for a coach that says, you know what? This is my player's strong suit, and I'm going to coach to that.
Sure.
Like a lot of coaches want to do their philosophy, their way of doing things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I want my type of player. No, he saw what he had, took the ingredients he had, and still made a hell of a meal. So I'm going with Harbaugh.
I went with Harbaugh also for everything Jeff just said. He took the talent and said, let's say, we're going to do what you do. And it got him 12, 13 wins this year. So I'm going to watch him Harbaugh.
I had Sean McDermott, the Bills. If you thought the Buffalo Bills were going to make the playoffs this year, you were either me or a complete liar. Most people didn't see this coming.
I sure didn't.
And, yeah, you sure didn't, Jeff. But I coached the Bills to a 10-6 record. The Bills roster is not filled with stars necessarily. A lot of talent. but instead it's filled with players that subscribe to McDermott's idea of winning culture. Defense is second in points per game, like we talked about in the first half. And the lack of quality wins will hurt McDermott as far as his chance of winning over Harbaugh, but I think he surpassed expectations. You know that you have a good coach for the future.
Yeah.
Glad you said that. That's a great segue because I had John Harbaugh because he played 6 of the 11 other playoff teams going 5-1, outscoring that group 180 to 110.
It's a stat right there.
They won 12 straight games and it led the Ravens to the best record in the NFL. So that's why I went with John Harbaugh for Coach of the Year.
Sure. Moving on to the next one.
Hey, how did Robert Foster do? Yeah, boy. Ooh.
Did we talk about Robert Foster?
No, we didn't.
It was a second little. I did say, yeah, you guys got to watch out for that Robert Foster.
You sure did.
Yeah, man. That's tough.
You sure did.
Okay. Yeah, so let's talk. Since we're talking about stuff, so we on to the next, I think, is the worst to first team, 2019. My preseason prediction was the Buffalo Bills, and a bet was made, Jeff, and we made that bet. Did you listen to that?
No, we did not make that.
Yes,
bet.
we
You
did.
said I'm not betting.
We said it was on. It's on tape.
It's on
Here we
tape.
go.
You said I'm not
It's
betting.
on tape to show 286.
I know. I got.
I'm
I
not
got
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you said I'm not
we'll
betting.
get there. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
I picked the Bills.
You did.
Yeah, for sure. Who you got, Jeff?
I had the Jags.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Worst to worst. They stay worse.
Who you got, Coach?
Oh, my, not even better. I had the Oakland Raiders.
Real
Hey,
quick.
it's
Not too
close.
bad.
Not one bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
Guess who Weezy had?
I can say who I had.
Okay, who did you have?
I had the Jets.
But that wasn't a bad pick to start
was
the
a very
season
bad
off.
pick.
No, to start the season off before
Nah,
Mono
they-
happened.
The mono happened. They won 6 of their last 8 games.
That's true.
They have an idiot coach.
Yeah.
a really, really like one of the worst coaches in the entire NFL, and I hope they never win a game for sure.
Oh, Jesus.
My postseason prediction: I'm sticking with my Bills for sure.
I bet.
Mm.
I went with the 49ers.
Yeah.
You got to go with that. They was dead last year. With the first pick overall. Well, second pick overall, they picked Nick Bosa. So I'm going to go with the 49ers.
I'm going with the Mafia. We're going to jump through some tables. You
Yeah.
know, we're going to get ready. You know what I mean?
I want to see you
Let's
jump.
think about it. though,
Can't
y'all.
use this table.
Nah,
though.
we ain't
Yeah,
jump through
yeah,
that.
okay.
If we thought about it, you put the 49ers next to the Bills, you'd be like, who would have a better season?
49ers.
Everybody would think the 49ers would have a better
Absolutely.
season. Nobody thought the Bills was going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, but nobody thought the 49ers were going to be the number 1 seed
that's true.
overall.
I
I'm
didn't
scared
think
of
49ers was going to be this
Yeah.
good. I didn't think they're going to bounce back this not like this.
No,
I didn't.
for sure.
Yeah,
Our
that,
schedule
you know,
will help. Just to keep it above.
that's my team. You know, your team
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
I would have never millions thought we would have been the number 1 seed in the NFC. The way we were, I figured we had a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe winning our division, but I didn't think our division was gonna be like it was. But I went with the 49ers for that reason.
Yeah, and with the 49ers, you got to also think we had a quarterback that was there was a lot of ballyhoo around him. He tears his ACL. He's coming back. We won't see the best of Jimmy Garoppolo until next year. Like he's coming off a year where he's trying to get his shit together. So
I respect that.
yeah, for sure. The granddaddy of them all, who got the last one?
Coach Lock.
Oh, this is me? Oh, I thought I was doing 4, 8, 12, but okay. The last one is the NFL MVP, most valuable player of the league. Who did you guys have for your preseason prediction?
I had Aaron Rodgers. Okay, my bad.
My bad.
Go ahead, you got it.
My preseason prediction was Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
My preseason pick was Saquon Barkley.
Not bad.
Ain't bad,
Not
Weezy.
Not bad. My preseason prediction was Aaron Rodgers.
Mine was Pat Mahomes.
You went back to back.
Yeah. All those weapons,
Double
man.
up.
I figured, you know,
The
it'd
ankle
be easy to do.
The ankle injury hurt you.
Yeah, it did.
Sure.
This
Spike
should be
fell off.
unanimous right here. Who would y'all pick?
Big trust.
Yeah, y'all going Big Trust?
I went Big Trust for sure.
Yeah, everybody went Big Trust.
Yeah.
I went Mike Thomas, man.
Oh.
For sure. It's
I heard the culture right
No,
there.
it's still, it's still it's too bad that wide receivers can't win NFL Most Valuable Player.
That's true.
Nobody has ever won it. If this wasn't the year that anybody should have won MVP at the wide receiver position, this is it, man. His
Yeah,
quarterback missed 5 games, y'all.
Yeah, but you
This-
can't
this
pick him
is-
this year over what Lamar Jackson did.
They had a similar record, very similar.
No, Jay.
I'm telling you.
It don't add
But-
up.
And here's the thing: everybody knew who the ball was going to with the Saints. Everybody knew he was getting the ball, and they still couldn't stop it.
Yeah, but You got
He missed 3 passes all year, y'all.
This is true, and he, like we said earlier, Drew Brees missed 6 games. I get that. Yeah. He had his record with most receptions, correct?
Yeah. Sure.
But let's look at Lamar Jackson. He became the first player in NFL history with 3,000 passing yards and 1,500 yards rushing in his first 2 seasons. He's the only quarterback in NFL history to produce at least 2,000 passing yards and 800 rushing yards through the season's first 11 games. He's the first player in NFL history with at least 4 passing touchdowns and 50 rushing yards in consecutive games.
Come on, man.
He's the youngest player in NFL history with multiple 5 passing touchdown games, and he set the record for most rushing yards by a quarterback in the season.
Okay. So, yeah, that's the MVP.
No, and what I'm saying, on top of that,
number 1
can anybody name the Saints' number 2 receiver? Thank you.
Again.
So you know where the ball is going, y'all.
Yeah, but that's the same thing right there with the Ravens.
I think it should be
this man catch the ball 176 times.
Peyton Manning and Steve McNair.
Peyton Manning and Steve McNair.
It shouldn't have been a co-MVP that year, and it may not be a damn co-MVP this year.
Dude, I'm telling you, they can't guard Mike. Like this is nuts, man, what he did this year. Just think about, he did that with Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Brees.
Yeah. It happened for him the wrong year.
Yep. Shit, any year.
No,
he should have won this. He should win it this year, dog.
Nah, it's Lamar Jackson, man. It's over with. That trophy already stamped with his name.
Yeah, he canceled it.
Yeah, it's already mailed to his house, man.
Hope it don't break, man. I'm hot about that. I'm still hot about that.
That does suck,
man. Man. That is another show in the books. Again, we like to we like to say thank you to everybody that showed up to our FSP celebration. We appreciate that. If you didn't know about it, here's to next year. Again, or to another 5 years or another 300 episodes, more than anything. Yeah, however you want to do it. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate everybody showed up, man. Get you some hoodies.
Thank you for everyone that purchased those.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Nobody has on a hoodie today, but they are for sale.
Good fabric.
For sure, in FSP red and FSP navy.
Most definitely.
For sure, man.
Don't have too many left.
It's limited quantities.
That's right.
Going fast.
Going.
Sure. Cameraman has his on. You want to come pan into the camera? Okay. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah.
Nah.
He ain't going to do it?
Chill.
Fellas, that's another episode again. We appreciate everybody that just likes last episode for a little while.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Sad day.
Sad time.
Sad day.
Anybody have any New Year's resolutions? This is not a rock question. It's a real question. Nobody?
You can't ask any questions.
I know. I'm saying. I'm dead serious. No, anybody have any New Year's resolutions this year?
You're burnt this year. You get the rap.
Killed that.
This is a real question.
That's okay.
I don't have any.
I'll write it down and give it to you.
No, I'm serious.
Now, do you?
Yeah, I got one.
What is it?
I'm gonna pray more this year.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's how you leave. That's how you cut the show.
What is he doing? What is he doing right now?
You podding.
There it is.
You podding, boy. Yeah. You a little chilly? You still got your hat on, don't you?
You little chilly.
Little baby cold.
Baby need a blanket. Baby cold, yes he is. Baby need a blanket. Put some over that baby ears before he gets sick.
Tweet us with questions throughout the week of Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. Please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
Coach Locke.
I'll be back soon.
Yeah. Weezy.
Everything paid for, baby.
Jeff.
Camera's always on, brother.
The Revolution will be podcast. The cameraman, we are out.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Thank you for listening to the Full Sport Press podcast. To catch up on prior episodes, visit the SoundCloud page. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend.